Symphony in slang, words and phrases, explanations. What's new? How's tricks? What's cookin'? An informal greeting. Another way of saying, hello. I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I was born into a rich family. I seemed to grow up overnight. My time as a child seemed to pass by quickly. Overnight equals suddenly, very quickly. At the crack of dawn. In the beginning of a new day. I got up with the chickens. Roosters or cocks are known to crow at the sunrise, so this expression is synonymous with rising up early. I got a job slinging hash. This refers to serving food in a restaurant, especially a cheap establishment. The proprietor was short-handed. Being short-handed means not having enough employees to do the necessary work, because you need more hands to help you, more people. I couldn't cut the mustard. I was not adequately skilled to do the work that was required. He gave me the gate. I was fired or dismissed from my job. My little hole in the wall. A small dingy room. I was beside myself with anger. I was very, very upset or crossed or angry. I made some dough, made some money, punching cattle. Herding cows. I flew to Chicago. Traveled to Chicago by airplane. A beautiful girl stepped into the picture. I met an attractive woman and she became significant to me. If something gets into the picture, or somebody steps into the picture, they become an important part of the story. Our eyes met. We noticed each another. My breath came up short, panted. I was breathing harder than normal due to my excitement. I got goose pimples. I got nervous. Goose pimples are those little lumps you get all over your skin when you feel cold, or nervous, or afraid, etc. All thumbs. Clumsy, as if all your fingers became thumbs, so you wouldn't be able to do things properly. Her clothes fit her like a glove. Her dress was clung closely to her body, a very tight fit. Her hair done up in a bun. She wore her hair pinned up. A bun may also be a roll of bread. She had good-looking pins too. She had attractive legs. She gives me a date. She agrees to spend time with him in a casual setting in order to become better acquainted. A date, especially in American English, is a romantic appointment. I put on my white tie and tails. I dressed in a formal tuxedo. She put on the dog. She wore a formal evening gown and looked very attractive in it. We went around together for some time. We dated for an extended period of time. Painting the town red. Enjoying parties all over the city. The Stork Club, the name of a popular nightclub known for its jazz music. A box at the opera. Balcony seats at an opera performance. A cocktail and a Moscow Mule, types of alcoholic drinks. Let her hair down, acted in a relaxed manner, and ate like a horse. She ate a real lot. My money was running out on me. I was spending all my money quickly. I write a check and it bounced. There was not enough money in the bank to cover my expenses, so they rejected it. In a pickle. In an uncomfortable situation. The proprietor drew a gun on me. Pulled out a pistol and pointed it at him. I gave him the slip. I managed to escape without incurring any harm. I hid in the foothills. I hid among small hills at the base of a mountain. In no time, shortly thereafter, the law was on my heels. The police were very close to catching me. On the witness stand, the judge tried to pump me. The judge tried to get information out of me and/or get me to admit wrongdoing. Every time I opened my mouth, I put my foot into it. I kept saying the wrong thing. Or simply, I put my foot in it. He sent me up the river to do a stretch in the jar. Sent to jail for a long period of time. I was up against it. Feeling pressure for being in an unfortunate situation, and going to pot. Declining into a bad physical condition. I raised a big stink. Protested vigorously. After going through a lot of red tape, bureaucracy and confusing processes, he sprung me. I was released from prison. It felt good to stretch my legs again. To experience freedom. To have a walk again after being at home, work etc., probably sitting for a long time. I went to the bus station and caught a Greyhound. Rode a bus back to town. The Greyhound is the American public coach company. I dropped in on Mary. I made her a surprise visit. I threw myself at her feet. Made a request for mercy and grace. She turned her back on me. Ignored what I had to say. She got on her high horse and I could not touch her with a 10-foot pole. She would not listen to him because she felt that she was better than me. The cat had her tongue. She didn't say anything. I walked out on her. Left her presence, especially in a rude manner. I went to pieces. I became very upset or sad. Where a bunch of the boys were hanging around. Where some guys I knew were just spending time doing nothing in particular. A bunch is a group. The boys are my friends or mates, and to hang around is to spend time together, doing nothing in particular, just enjoying each other's company. The guy at the piano played by ear, without the use of sheet music. I felt a tug at my elbow. Someone was pulling on his arm. We chewed the rag a while. To make conversation, small talk. I heard from the grapevine. I hear a rumor. Somebody told me. People were talking about it, and I found out that Mary was going around with an old flame. Someone she used to date, an old boyfriend. That burned me up. I became very angry. Because I knew he was just feeding her a line. Telling her what she wanted to hear in order to take advantage of her in some way. Fooling her into loving him. He spent his money like water. He was very generous with his money, spent lots of it. He was connected with the railroad. He worked for a railroad company. As they danced, I tried to chisel in. Interrupt their good times, get in the way. The guy got in my hair. He was a constant nuisance. It was raining cats and dogs. It was raining very hard. This is an old idiom nobody uses anymore, at least in the UK. I was feeling mighty blue, very sad. Mighty equals powerfully equals very very, and everything was black. Looked hopeless. I carried on. Continue to persevere. I went to 1,000 islands. A group of more than 1,800 islands of northern New York and southeast Ontario, Canada, in the St. Lawrence River at the outlet of Lake Ontario. The islands, some of which are privately owned, are a popular resort area. I became a beachcomber. A rover or wanderer or nomadic man who lives on the beach with no home or occupation. A tear ran down my cheek. To cry softly. So I sent her a cable. He sent a telegram to Mary. Next day she sends me back a wire. She sent a telegram to him. I rush back to the US on a cattle boat, a cargo ship for the transport of livestock, and hot-footed over to Mary's apartment. To run quickly. Mary had a bunch of little ones. Small children. The groom had his hands full too. He was very busy. Groom equals bridegroom equals the man who marries the bride. This word is only used for the wedding day, but colloquially you can use it afterwards, mainly if you just discovered that they had married. I died laughing. I laughed a real lot, uncontrollably. Did you follow me? Did you understand what I said?